turns out. The enjoyment I receive from growing the game through content creation and collaborations, and the work I do with the Cyber Smile Foundation around cyberbullying is leaps and bounds above what I got out of playing competitively. If you look at what people typically wear when they play, okay, my clothes could be considered provocative. But I'm not wearing them for a reaction. I'm just comfortable in fitness clothing. Golf is a sport, so dress like an athlete. Name another sport where people wear khakis and cotton pillows. I'm not ashamed of my social media following, my Sports Illustrated swimsuit shoot, or the tough time I had in my LPGA debut. But these small facets of my life are easily manipulated by the internet to get views, and they don't define me as a person. Different women feel empowered in different ways, and it's not right to tell someone what they can and cannot do. All I know is that golf is better when the best players in the world are playing together. I love myself and I love my body. Breath of fresh air within this timeline. I bet you've got a lot of nice ties. Says you should never change who you are. To be a professional golfer in the 21st century, you must be an athlete. I've done golf and fitness shoots, but in those I'm still fairly covered up. I never wanted to be an influencer. Now I've become so influential they can't ignore me. Rory is so insanely talented. It's truly special watching him play when he has his best stuff. The ability to act as a role model shouldn't depend on owning a pile of trophies. Instead, we should look at role models as whole people who fail but overcome adversity, people who inspire us both on and off the course, people who spend their time trying to make their community a better place. It's only when we stop looking exclusively to the podium for our heroes and start looking all around us that we'll make the greatest progress toward a better tomorrow. Whenever I'm stressed out or having a bad day, the one thing that gets me happy, or back into like a good place of mind, is being on the golf course. I love being out there, especially really early in the morning, getting the first tee time out, and just playing by myself. It's so peaceful. People seem to think I got where I am because of the clothes that I wear. That's unfair to me and unfair to all of my accomplishments. As my followers know, I'm always looking for ways to improve my game and have a little more fun on the course. Almost every woman I've met has encountered bullying. Growing up, I had a hair condition where my hair would fall out easily, and I had bad asthma. Over the years, golf has evolved from a leisurely game of stick and ball into a competitive sport for highly skilled athletes. Players not only spend countless hours fine-tuning technique on the course, but also improving strength, stability, and endurance in the gym. The people who are saying golf is progressive, if you look at them, they all look the same. They are all middle-aged men. They obviously feel accepted. When you go to a golf course and look around, you see a bunch of guys. Everyone looks like you, so you are going to feel great. If you are walking in as a woman, you don't feel the same. I had a really rough go of it both times I was here. There was a lot of media, it was really stressful and I found the experience really hard. I said I wasn't coming back to play. I realized that I could save the world, and I would still get hate. I'm never going to try and please other people. All I can do is live my truth, and be a good person, and I will feel right, and fulfilled. That's what matters. Golf's a gentleman's game. So it's all about integrity, and you cheer on other people, and it's kind of different from other sports, where you just want to beat everyone. I probably do more community service than any other professional golfer. I actually was a competitive gymnast for the first part of my life. From age 6 to 12, I dedicated pretty much everything to that until I got injured really badly. When it comes to the golf industry, I know that people see me as a gimmick. I love golf. I think it is a great game, but I think there are a lot of things that need to change. I think it needs to become more progressive, more inclusive. But one of my absolutely favorite things to do is go to comic book stores on the weekend. I literally post swing videos. Like, how is that interesting? But I've created such a following, and they're loyal fans. It's really cool to create a community around something I love, and that they love, too. I'm a content creator, so I like to read the comments, and I like to engage. Because if people aren't interested in what I'm doing, then I'm not doing a good job. I was harassed. My family was harassed. I was receiving death threats. People were invading my privacy. I was being blackmailed. This was going on while I was trying to play. When it comes to the golf industry, I know that people see me as a gimmick. I don't think I am. If I was a guy and I had the same social following, I don't think people would call it a gimmick. They'd say it was great. People seem to think I got where I am because of the clothes that I wear. That's unfair to me and unfair to all of my accomplishments. I probably do more community service than any other professional golfer. I'm introverted, and all my friends make fun of me, because all I do is work out and play golf. I'm a grandma stay in most nights, and asleep by 9:30. My strength is short game. I love the creative side to it. You can hit a wedge a million different ways. The flop is my fave. All I ever wanted was to be a golfer on the LPGA Tour. That's still my dream, but getting there has turned out to be a lot more complicated than I thought. Everyone knew I was homeschooled. Everyone always said I was weird, and they're kind of right. And I think people can always tell that I'm a weak link. So if you are going to bully someone, I'm an easy target. If someone is misrepresenting my playing career, I try to correct them. If they say something mean about me, I'll let them know it hurts my feelings. But I've noticed that the best thing for me is to show love back to them, and show positivity, and by doing that you gain a fan. For me, working with kids is one of my favorite ways to give back, and I refuse to let public opinion about whether I'm a winner stop me from being a positive role model and mentor. If you've never been fit for clubs, your game could seriously be suffering. People tend to stick to out-of-date, poorly fit clubs because they either don't see the benefit of a fitting, or are intimidated. It wasn't until last year that I figured out the problem. I just don't love competitive golf. What I love is the game itself. I love being outdoors, practicing, and smelling the freshly cut grass at 6 o'clock a.m. as the sun rises. But I didn't love travel, or pressure, or the mean-spiritedness of my competitors. Because of the increased physicality of the sport, golf apparel companies began incorporating more performance-based materials into their designs, as well as updating styles that had fallen out of fashion over the years. I was a tomboy. I played football and wasn't afraid to get dirty. Shopping. Not for me. I embrace who I am. and I embrace the fact that I feel empowered, feeling sexy. I'm very passionate about the game, but I don't want to do it as a living. I feel confident in the path that I'm taking now, and I didn't feel confident in the path that I was taking with golf. I just realized that I don't want to play professionally. I do media work, but I don't do broadcast on TV. I'm a content producer and creator, so I just go out there and produce awesome content. When you have a lot of followers, you get the good and bad. So I had a career out of it. But unfortunately, I had people hating on me every single day. Golf is elitist, it's stuffy, it's exclusive, and I hate that because I am not that, and I was never welcomed in, and I'm still not welcomed in. I'm not refined, I'm raw and real, and I wear what I want. And I have always been so different. And golf is not that way. But if I feel comfortable swinging in a short skirt or shorts, if I feel athletic and strong and confident, I can do that. And you shouldn't call me certain names for it. I'm called rude things, and people say nasty stuff. It's disrespectful, and as women we don't deserve that. I feel like everyone in golf is just playing this part of this perfect golfer, when in reality, it's nothing like that. You know what? I was one of the top 25 amateurs in the world. I had a pretty good college career. From the first time I swung a PXG club, I have wanted to add them to my bag. They feel incredible, and the I dress differently. I don't conform to what golf is supposed to be. You may not even realize how much your off-the-rack clubs are affecting your game. I want people to see that golf is fun, and it's cool. You don't have to be a professional golfer to enjoy it. It's easy to get swayed by advertisements or the latest new gear. But what you think you want could actually rob you of yards and add strokes to your score, based on your personal swing and playing style. I started playing golf after a broken knee led me to quit my career as an elite gymnast. It wasn't long before I became one of the world's top-ranked amateur players. I may not go down in history as the best female golfer to ever play, however my intent is to do whatever I can to grow the game. I want to be less of a role model, and more of a mentor. I don't ever want kids to put me on a pedestal and feel like they can't talk or reach out to me. I want to be there for them. Golf is really tricky. I feel like you either have to be a broadcaster, or a professional golfer, or a golf instructor. If you're not one of those things, you don't really fit in the game. It's hard for women every single day. We have to be nice, but not too nice. Ambitious, but not too ambitious. It puts a lot of pressure on what we should and can be. Golf is the absolute worst place for me to be because I am the exact opposite of everything that a golfer should encompass, should be, and I'm not. Every child thrives on encouragement, but beware of forcing it. I've seen too many family relationships crumble because of excessive ambition on the course, or the range. People seem to think I got where I am because of the clothes that I wear. The numbers don't lie. So make sure to come in with an open mind when it comes to building your bag. For example, the brand that helps you drive it longer and straighter might not suit you best when it comes to your short game. I'm really trying to do everything I can to bring golf to people who have never done it before, as well as just make golf fun and cool.